8771. A fuel heater can use which of the following as a source of heat? A. Engine bleed air. B. Engine lubricating oil. C. Both engine bleed air and engine lubricating oil. The correct answer is B. A fuel heater can utilize different heat sources to raise the temperature of the fuel. One common heat source is engine bleed air, which is hot air tapped from the engine's compressor section. This bleed air can be directed through a heat exchanger, transferring its heat to the fuel and raising its temperature. Another heat source that can be used in a fuel heater is the engine's lubricating oil. The fuel can be circulated through a heat exchanger that is heated by the hot lubricating oil. The heat from the oil is transferred to the fuel, warming it up and preventing the formation of ice or other fuel-related issues. Both of these methods effectively utilize existing sources of heat within the engine system to provide warmth to the fuel, ensuring its proper flow, preventing ice formation, and maintaining optimal engine performance in cold weather conditions. 8772. What does a fuel pressure gauge indicate? A. The pressure of the fuel entering the carburetor. B. The differential pressure in the fuel system. C. The pressure of the reference air in the carburetor. The correct answer is B. Fuel pressure gauges used in aircraft are typically differential pressure gauges, which means they measure the difference between the pressure of the fuel and a reference air pressure. In the case of pressure carburetors, the reference air pressure is the upper deck air pressure within the carburetor. The gauge indicates the pressure of the fuel as it enters the carburetor by comparing it to the reference air pressure. By measuring the difference in pressure between the fuel and the reference air, the gauge provides a reading that reflects the fuel pressure. This differential pressure measurement is important for monitoring the fuel system's performance and ensuring that the fuel pressure remains within the desired range for proper carburetor operation. It allows pilots and maintenance personnel to accurately assess the fuel flow and make any necessary adjustments to maintain optimal engine performance. 8773. On which type of aircraft fuel pump is a fuel pressure relief valve required? A. Positive displacement fuel pump. B. Centrifugal boost fuel pump. C. Both positive displacement fuel pump and centrifugal boost fuel pump. The correct answer is A. A positive displacement fuel pump is designed to deliver a specific volume of fuel per unit of time, regardless of the pressure required by the engine. If the outlet of the positive displacement fuel pump is blocked, the pump can generate excessive pressure, which can damage the fuel system components. To prevent such overpressure conditions, a fuel pressure relief valve is installed in the system. The relief valve is designed to open and allow fuel to bypass back to the inlet side of the pump when the pressure exceeds a certain threshold, thus protecting the system from excessive pressure. On the other hand, a centrifugal boost fuel pump operates by increasing the kinetic energy of the fuel, using centrifugal force to boost the fuel pressure. These types of pumps typically do not require a fuel pressure relief valve because they are designed to operate within a specific pressure range and do not generate excessive pressure. Therefore, a fuel pressure relief valve is required on a positive displacement fuel pump. 8774. What is the primary purpose of a fuel tank sump? A. To shut off fuel flow or route the fuel to a desired location. B. To settle contaminants and water with a drain valve to remove impurities. C. To manually operate valves on a fuel tank to isolate or direct fuel to a pump. The correct answer is B. A fuel tank sump is designed to collect any contaminants or water that may have accumulated in the fuel tank. During flight or when the aircraft is in motion, these impurities tend to settle at the lowest point of the tank, which is where the sump is located. The sump typically has a drain valve that can be opened to remove the settled impurities, ensuring cleaner fuel is supplied to the engine. The other options mentioned are not the primary purposes of a fuel tank sump. Shutting off fuel flow or routing fuel to a desired location is typically handled by fuel valves or selector switches. Similarly, Manually operating valves to isolate or direct fuel to a pump is usually the function of fuel system controls and not directly related to a fuel tank sump. Therefore, the primary purpose of a fuel tank sump is to settle contaminants in water with a drain valve to remove impurities. 8775. Why are integral fuel tanks used in many large aircraft? A. To reduce fire hazards. B. To facilitate servicing. C. To reduce weight. The correct answer is C. One of the main advantages of integral fuel tanks is their ability to provide structural support while also storing fuel. By incorporating the fuel tanks into the aircraft structure, it eliminates the need for additional structural components, such as separate fuel cells or external tanks. This integration helps to reduce the overall weight of the aircraft, which is a crucial factor in aviation due to its impact on fuel efficiency and performance. While integral fuel tanks can also offer benefits in terms of reducing fire hazards and facilitating servicing, the primary reason for their use in large aircraft is to minimize weight.